This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hashtag no music, no intro. Sorry to break this to you, Ryan, but I'm a DMP. I'm a DMP this week, bro.
You out, bro?
just fall in the lead, bro. Our official week 2 New Orleans Saints at Carolina Panthers podcast previewing the game on Sunday. And let's just dive right into it. The Saints are hurt, bruh.
Yeah, man. It's probably like after coming off such a great win, like a great start to the season, it's probably had one of the worst weeks in the NFL, bro. Like
worst. So I saw it today and I was just like, oh, and like I texted it to you, bro, and I tweeted it, but I said Quan Alexander being hurt the same week that Pete Warner, who they invested 60 overall pick, like what did he do to get hurt, right? Like was it special teams? Like
I don't know, man. Like what the?
So I'll start with this in terms of the preview. And I guess I'm starting with the Saints defense going against Carolina offense. This, like we've talked about how they got linebackers now and all that. Bro, like in terms of matchups, like this is like Zach Bond's hashtag bonfire. This is his thesis, bro. This is a doctorate.
No, man, it's been a good matchup for him.
Like I would imagine Dennis Allen in most situations would try to have DeMario going against Christian McCaffrey if he's running like these angle routes and everything. Yeah. And then you put, Bond maybe like on the tight end or whatever. But like they're just, formationally, like they're going against Joe Brady. Joe Brady comes from the Saints. He's going to do something formationally where that's going to try to, my guess would be exploit Zach Bond. And he's going to have to be up to the task, man.
Yeah, man. Like it's going to be interesting. That's what I've been thinking about all week. Like how are they going to use CMC? Everybody was like, oh, CMC, Saints done good with him in the past. Like, look, he barely played us last year. With the new offensive coordinator, and he's getting his touches. Like, there's no question about it. He got, 30 touches last week?
Oh, 30, bro.
30, bro. Like, so that ain't going to stop. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh, well, Saints defense is great. And I agree. Like, I've been tooting the Saints defense on more than anybody. But all it takes is like 2 or 3 plays. You know what I'm saying? Like a missed ankle tackle, and CMC going to cook your ass. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to get his targets. He's going to get his targets over the middle and flats, downfield, and in the run game, and in the screen game. So it's like P's and Q's all day, bro. Like
all day.
Saints defense going to have to be on it.
Completely. And I would feel more confident about this game if like all these just these rash of injuries, bro. Like,
man,
I will. So there is a small, Chauncey was limited yesterday. Today he was a DNP. So this pod's gonna be released before the Friday injury report. So we don't know if Chauncey's gonna practice on Friday. So the fact that Marshawn Lattimore practiced on a limited basis today, if he's able to play, and it's intriguing because then they could roll out instead of it being like, let's say Chauncey is out and Marshawn's out. So then on your boundary, you're gonna be starting Bradley Roby and Paulson Adebo, and then you're gonna have PJ in the slot. No, bro. if Marshawn is able to play, I would imagine the plan would be Marshawn and Adebo on the outside,
right,
and Bradley Roby in the slot. Because if you go back to when Bradley Roby was the Broncos, he manned the slot so much because he was playing with Chris Harris. Well, sometimes he played in the slot, sometimes he played with outside, but he had Chris Harris and Aqib Talib. So
right, he was really good in the slot too.
Really good in the slot. So he's not foreign to that position. If somehow Marshawn's able to play a pain management thing, he plays, what have you, that completely eases some of the things in terms of the concerns on defense. But honestly, this is going to sound repetitive because it's going to sound like every fucking podcast we do, especially with the preview episodes. The Saints defensive line, and I know 2 firsts ain't going to play shoulder, pec, whatever. But if you just look on paper at the Panthers offensive line, on paper, you look at them, the Saints front 6, Cam, we got to see what Peyton Turner, who first can do. Like, they got to make some noise in this game because you're down 2 firsts. Tono, who had out like, man. So I know this is a game that DA feels like he probably is going to have to cook up Sam Darnold with some blitzes and
I agree with it too.
Yeah, to get that clock moving faster for him and just put him in pressure, get him feeling like the whole ghost situation. But it's really going to be a game where the Saints defensively, especially defensive line, has to get the advantage over Carolina's offensive line.
No, absolutely. I think that's going to be key to the game. I mean, obviously every key to the game is to get pressure on the quarterback. I think in this game, if you can get Sam Darnold kind of speeding up his mechanics and speeding up the clock in his head, things can go bad really quick for him. And, just kind of, start nipping at his confidence a little bit. Because I was looking at him, I went back and watched some of the game last week against the Jets, and he was making some nice throws, man. And that's never been a problem with Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold could throw the ball. That's never been a problem. And he made a lot of nice throws. So, I think a lot of Saints fans Sam Darnold garbage. I'm like, yeah, I get why you feel that way, and he, possibly he is, but he was a number 2 overall draft pick, just like Jameis was number 1 overall draft pick. So it's not like they're not talented, they're just kind of similar in some ways, and that they can just from bad situations and they kind of muck things up themselves. So he's trying to get a second life in his career, and so far so good for him, but. Like you said,
it's a great point. Like, this is the battle of reclamation quarterback.
Reclamation projects, man.
Yeah.
No, it really is, man. It's but like you said, that offensive line. There's some fool right there, bro.
I got it. I pulled it up before we started recording. I'm going to read the Panthers offensive starting line to you, okay? Cameron Irving at left tackle. Pat Elflein, left guard. Matt Paradis at center. John Miller, who just got off the COVID list, believe it was this week, at right guard. And Taylor Moton, who probably is their best offensive lineman, at right tackle. It's easy for me to say the Saints, defensively, especially the defensive line, should win this matchup. But Cam, who had a great game against the Packers, getting the mojo back, he got to still show out. And Ryan, I'm saying it right now on this podcast. If those inactives come out and who first is inactive,
bro,
you will.
Okay, if it was just Davenport out, then it's it'll still be absurd, but it'll be level 1 level 2 absurd. But if Tano out and Davenport, and who first still out, that's a problem. That's a problem.
Sean
Terrell got to ask him. Cat Terrell got to be the first one to ask that question in Song on Slammer. but she got to ask that question as soon as she can. Like, why was Peyton Turner inactive? I need to know. Like,
we got to know. Like, you invest a first-round pick into an edge, and he's not on the injury report. He's full practice. He got to play, bro. He got to play on Sunday. And
not even start, just play. Not even start.
Yeah, but like with Tano and Two First being out, like I think his role may have to be a little more than what they maybe envisioned. You know, easing him in, which I don't know why I have to ease in or whatever. So getting back to the Panthers offense, the Panthers weapons at wide receiver present different challenges than like a team like the Packers. So with a team like the Packers, your primary concern is not to let Devontae Adams cook you, right? Like he's the focus, and then you worry about the others. You worry about MVS, you worry about the other wide receivers, but that's your primary focus,
right? You can manage those.
With the Panthers, a lot of their receivers are interchangeable.
Yeah,
in what they do. To me, the key though, and I think it was pretty obvious to me even last season, is people really want DJ Moore to be the guy. Like they want him to be a wide receiver one. Like I think he has consistently shown you he is a really good wide receiver too.
Yeah.
But I would say the focus needs to be on shutting Robbie Anderson down. Like he's the guy.
He's the game breaker. Sam Darnold already had a chemistry with him coming from the Jets. It just makes too much sense. Saw the big play last week, and they're gonna do more of those, man. Like that's gonna be like that's the game killer right there. Like Robbie Anderson, you don't want him just getting downfield on you. Like whatever the plan has to be, whether it's too deep, how the Saints like to do, or whatever. They just need to put a mud on him. I would assume if Marshawn Lattimore did play, that's who he'd be on. I don't remember who Marshawn was on last year. Was he on DJ Moore?
I remember. So the year we played the Jets in 2018, in New Jersey, Marshawn was on Robbie Anderson. Like he traveled him. He shut him down. Last year, I believe it was like the first game. I remember seeing a lot of CD on Robbie Anderson because they were putting him in the slot, and I was getting frustrated. I was like, "Oh my!" Like I love CD, but like that is not the matchup for him. So I don't know how what their plan is going to be in terms of that, but.
And look, this is the Joe Brady offense, so they move him around. It's not like, so you're going to see Robbie Anderson in the slot. You're going to see him out, out in the X. You're going to see out in the Y. You're going to see him all over the, formation. Same for DJ Moore. So, it's going to be one of those things where, everybody's going to have to step up. And, just pick your poison. If Robbie Anderson has 5 catches for, 60, that's a good game to me. Right. Like 60, 70 yards, like that's a good game. But if you start letting him get behind you, man, like those are the backbreakers.
It is. Speaking of, so this is a game on 3 players, right? Storylines. We talked about the JC Horn thing a couple of days ago.
I know where you're going.
Terrace Marshall.
Yeah.
They wanted to draft him at 60.
Was ready.
And
he was ready.
Carolina knew it. And instead of maybe trading up to getting their guy, we got Pete Warner, who's not playing on Sunday. But don't forget about your boy, Dan Arnold. He cut to the touchdown on Sunday. He cut.
Dan Arnold getting a touchdown. Book it. Write the shit down. Man. Draft him in your fantasy league if you don't have him. Like go and grab him. Go grab him over waiver wire or something. Like he getting a touchdown. He is
guaranteed, bro. like when you like
And
if
when
you're
you catch that motherfucker, it's gonna be the best catch ever, too, bro.
like it's gonna be like the Odell catch, but like
it's gonna get replayed 10 times. How did Dan Arnold catch that? Just want to fight that dude, bro.
I was driving today, kind of thinking about the game, thinking about like our preview partner. I was like, oh shit, Dan Arnold plays for the goddamn Panthers. Like, so it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, bro. You know it. And this is the first time that he's played against the Saints since he was cut.
Oh man,
if I remember correct, because they haven't played against the Cardinals. When the last time they played the Cardinals, he was still on the team. So this is, I believe, the first time he's played against the Saints since he was cut. Because the Cardinals claimed him on waivers, and then he went to the Panthers. So, anything else about the Panthers offensively and the Saints defensively that intrigues you?
No, not really, man. It's all about CMC for me. Like, that's the dude, man. Like, he is the dude. They have no quarrels about making him seem like the dude because he is that dude. Like, he is their AK, and you just got to, he's going to get his touches now. He's going to make some plays, but we just can't let him just be that chain mover, bro. Like, that annoying 3rd and 6.
He gets like 7 or 8, just keeps drives going.
Like, we just keep that's the killer. Like, we got to shut that shit down. Man. There's no real easy way to do it, but just play how the Saints defense has been playing, which is, they rally to the football, the jerseys are around, they've been tackling well. They just need to continue to do that. But like I said, we took some hits, and I don't like the hope of player plays that's injured, but I'm hoping Marshawn plays, man, because he's an underrated tackler. He's, the Saints run game defense has been pretty good the past couple of years. And I'm not saying it has a lot to do with him, but he's been a part of it, because
right.
he will disengage off that edge and come and stick his head.
He's a willing tackler.
We're very willing tackler, So, I'm really hoping Marshawn I saw the picture of him. He was at practice today. He had that big old cast on his hand. Like, bro, you big money now, bro. Highest paid going back in the league now, boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, go and get that, man. Put that little cast on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and out there, bro, your legs still work, So, but, that's going to be interesting, man. The Saints defense because, the Saints defense is trending up. It's looking good.
It is, bro.
But like I was saying on the last pod, you just can't expect it to play out like it played last week, man. Like, Saints fans, everything I was just tweeting through, just on my thoughts of the Panthers this weekend. Saints fans are all in my midst. Like,
that homerism.
That homerism, bro. It's like, y'all relax. Like, have y'all not watched Saints games ever? Like, have you never seen the Saints game? Like, when has everything went great every week? Like, ever? Like, stop it. Like, things happen. Like, Jameis going to throw a pick or a fumble at some point. And, the defense is going to get beat at some point and miss a tackle or, blow an assignment or something. Like, this is the NFL, man. It's like things aren't peachy every week. So stop it. Just stop. These are NFL players. Like, these are the Carolina Panthers has some good NFL players. Yes, we've owned them for the most part for the past couple of years. Yes. But, those things change on the dime, man. It doesn't matter. Like, last year we blew them out one game, and one game was, like, decided by a field goal. So you don't know. No,
you don't. I mean, we won one of those games last season because Teddy took just an awful fucking sack, bro. Mm-hmm. And they were getting ready to drive down the field, and Teddy just took I think 2 first. I think it was a 2 first sack, and not first. And Joey Slob missed that long ass field goal.
Yeah, that's one thing about Matt Rule. Though. Matt Rule would like punt at the 44. Matt Rule would do some dumb shit sometimes. I'm like, what? Everybody like, oh, Matt Rule is such a good coach. Like, okay, like
you just saying sometimes he coach a little scared.
he coach a little scared, man. And I don't know. He likes kicking. I don't know. I'm still waiting to see Matt Rule is a hell of a coach. I'm waiting to see that. Like, I hadn't seen that yet. Like, okay, they've improved slightly, but I mean, it's not like Ron Rivera. I mean, he had the team cooking for years. There's winning division every year for a nice little stretch. So I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm not saying I'm down on Matt Rule or he's garbage. I'm just saying I'm waiting to see where. Wow, Matt Rule is this dynamic head coach.
Hey,
I ain't really see it yet.
Mark, if you're listening to this,
Mark says loves Matt Rule.
loves him, bro. Loves him. Let's talk about. Let's switch it over when the Saints are on offense, Carolina's on defense, and I had an epiphany today, and I realized that the Carolina defense is like you have accurately described it as like a sweat equity defense. Like they gonna make you earn it. And I realized that the Carolina defense is very like they're the Saints defense, except take the elite talent away.
Yeah. No, that's a good way to put it.
Like I was just thinking, and I was like they don't like they have some good people, like Brian Burns is for sure like the guy that you can't let take over a game. And the Saints have one of the best tackle combinations in the league. But I remember last season, bro, as soon as Teron went out, Drew got rocked on that strip sack by Brian Burns, bro.
Yeah, man. Do not let that. You can't let him beat you. And Teron will take his little breaks out of games. Like, that's
all right, bro. You just slide Pete over. Just slide Pete over to the level.
That's one of the annoying tweets you see during the game. Like every week is like, Teron's on the sideline. It's like, oh fuck. Then he's back in the game at some point. It's like, okay.
I'm just saying, man. Like, so that was just my analogy I had is just, and this is not me trying to but they're getting players and they're building a defense. They have Brian Burns.
Really are. They really are, man.
They drafted Derek Brown, Shaq Thompson. Has been doing this thing for years.
He looked really good last week though.
J.C. Horn. I was a big fan of Jeremy Chin when he was a prospect. Like they are, kind of formulating an identity on defense of what they want to be. And that said, and I don't think it's going to be a game either where it'll be. I guess I'm interested to see how Sean is going to want to attack this defense.
Yeah, because look, they could be run on. They're not a great run defense, but they're not a bad run defense either. Shaq Thompson. I mean, look, Alvin Kamara has had his days, even when they had Luke Kuechly and Shaq Thompson there. Like he's had his ways. I'm interested to see if we see more Alvin Kamara in the passing game. They showed a lot of the looks against Green Bay, but he didn't get like a super ton of targets. Especially, I want to see him back in that slot, or I want to see him like in running routes. I want to see AK like doing that again, and just see what kind of coverage he gets. Do they put a linebacker? Because if they put a linebacker on, come on now. You know what I'm saying? I don't care who it is. Like you put a linebacker on AK on a route, okay, I'll take it every time.
Every time.
So,
every time. I don't care who the linebacker is. I'll take it.
I'll take it. So I want to see Sean Payton kind of attack that, kind of spread those linebackers out, spread the defensive line out a little bit to open up those gaps and just kind of, pick your targets. I don't know much about their cornerbacks. So one of them was hurt recently, but their injury report looks pretty good.
Bro, the injury report looks great.
I mean, it's like, damn.
So they're
got Dante Jackson,
Yeah. And Sean has shown in the past, like this is kind of obviously when Michael Thomas was playing, like he had no problem going after Dante Jackson, like none, bro. But the Panthers did add Hassan Reddick, in free agency.
And they were beating the shit out of Zach Wilson, and I know Jets O-line is kind of a work in progress, but they were getting after it. Like they were getting after it. Hassan Reddick, Derek Brown had a sack. Hassan Reddick, Burns, of course. So they were getting after it, man. This is a D-line that's not like a slouch.
No, and it's one of those deep defensive teams where, as a fan, and I can't imagine it is even as like an offensive guru as Sean, like you may want to just be uber aggressive and like you kind of like this is a defense that you kind of have to be patient with, right? Like work your way up and down the field, take your shots when you can, and I really think the plan going forward for the season, man, is I think Sean feels that he has a defense in the Saints that is good enough and talented enough to get him to a Super Bowl. And if Jameis can just manage the game from the quarterback position and I can do things with Alvin and we have a stud line.
Which is hilarious, though, when you think about
isn't it. Like, isn't that evolution
Jameis
of him
Winston,
as a head coach?
Like Jameis Winston, game manager. It's like,
wow.
It's like, but Sean Payton, what? Well, I remember you talking about years ago. Remember when Tony Romo and the Dallas Cowboys, they finally put together like a good team, just running the ball. They had, what was his name, their running back?
It was probably Murray.
Yeah, Murray. He had like shitload of yards. Like, and it was ball control. And I remember you were saying like that's what Sean Payton wants to build. Like,
and that's like, and literally after Dallas had that season, they drafted Pete, bro. Like, I saw it. Like, I saw the vision. Because Sean, it was,
and that's what it became in like 2016. That's pretty much what they were. For the most part. They, Drew Brees managed the ball. He wasn't making turnovers. Wasn't as many big plays, but they took the shots when they took. He was running the ball well and played good defense. Like, that's what he wanted to do. And I think this scenario is his dream scenario. If
it is, man.
Continues to play well, that's his dream scenario. Just keep Jameis. Like, Jameis is locked in, doing whatever coach wants. He's protecting the ball. He's taking the shots when he can. And this is exactly how Sean wants. Now, you could play like that, but games don't unfold like that every week. So that's what I'm kind of interested in seeing is when that doesn't happen. I don't know if this is going to be the week, but the games won't unfold like that every week.
Right, because at some time, like, you're going to get, like, perfect example is, that 49ers, the last great Drew Brees regular season game, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you at some point, you got to be the gunslinger and just
got to get them. And that was an interesting quote. I remember Troy Aikman said during the broadcast last week. He was like, Sean Payton was saying like there were times we were completely fine to be in a shootout. Like, we were just like, okay, like, you want a shootout, let's go. We got Drew Brees, let's go, let's do it. And I'm interested to see if that mentality translates to Jameis Winston too. And what does that look like? What does shootout Winston look like?
Because to me, like, that's the ultimate trust, like, that a offensive coach can show towards their quarterback, right?
Right.
Because if you're in a shootout, but if you're not ready to put your gunslinger out there, because you're just like, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. And then you got to look at the Saints pass catches, and it's like,
oh boy.
You think Kenny Stills play this week?
I think so, man. I do.
Yeah, me too.
I do. And I'll say this, right? Marquez Callaway more likely will either be going against J.C. Horn, good old SEC matchup, or he may be going against Dante Jackson, who went to LSU, another SEC matchup. But none of those players are Jair Alexander.
Mm-hmm.
So at some point, and I don't know if it's going to be week 2, but at some point, teams are going to get the clue that if we kind of take away Juwan Johnson and and stuff up the middle, how does this team with the ball? Now, last week against Packers, they just leaned on the Packers defensive line and ran the ball, and they couldn't stop it, bro. Like, they couldn't stop it. Right. I don't know why, but I get a feeling like this could be a game where like Tony Jones Jr. breaks one.
Ooh.
Because he was close against Green Bay a couple times, bro.
He was close. He was close, man.
I get he might be able to break one. But if Saints fans are listening to this podcast, please don't just be thinking like this is just gonna be easy walk in the park. Like, this is a divisional game. It's a huge game. Because I might be wrong, but whoever wins this game, I believe that temporarily is going to be sitting number 1 NFC South, man.
Really?
Oh, yeah, because if you think about it, because the Bucks, it's a divisional matchup. Yeah,
that's going to be interesting.
Because then the Saints in theory would have 2 wins over the NFC, one being a divisional matchup. The Bucks beat the Cowboys, and then I don't know who they're playing this week, but it's an NFC team, but I believe it's not an NFC South team. So like, it's early, but like the Saints could be top of NFC South. Position. Yeah. Winning this game, and it's just injuries, man. It's really injuries, and I'm going to be really interested to see how Reese does at center going against, because more likely, I guess he would probably, I would guess from a snap wise formationally, he's going to see a lot of Derek Brown.
Yeah.
Who I loved him as a prospect. And this is where Reese's time to just shine. Like,
it is.
Absolutely shine, man.
Oh, man. And the whole offensive line is they're getting some pop. Everybody looking at them, and if they can continue to play how they played against Green Bay, that can carry you really far. So it's going to be interesting how they, how they adjust to different teams. Yeah, man, you got what's his name?
Throckmorton.
Throckmorton. How's he going to handle it? You know what I'm saying? Like, my man Pete, I was laughing. Because I asked TL, somebody post that picture of when, Troy Aikman circled everybody gassed on the Green Bay defense. And somebody, posted it, and I retweeted it. And it was pointed out that Pete was the only Saints player with his hands on his hips too gassed. I'm like, look at Pete. Of course Pete gassed too, man. Pete thinking about Reds Canes, like, hey, ain't no Reds Canes down here? Fucking Pete. But look, I didn't hear Pete name much.
Nope, we didn't. We didn't, bro.
I saw him on the ground a little bit, but I ain't gonna say nothing,
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like, the game plan, and I think Sean should utilize it until a team is able to stop it. Is we gonna run the ball with AK and Tony Jones Jr.
Do it.
And if you guys can stop it, then we might have to start throwing it a little more. But if a team can't stop it, we gonna run this shit and just take the air out the ball. Like, why not?
How you feel about Jameis running ability?
Man, Greg, Greg was hitting me up just like, man, like, that was such a unexpected part of his game, and it was so needed. Like,
Jameis, we've never had that. I mean, of course, with Taysom, like, we've had it, but even with Taysom, like, because Taysom is not a scrambler.
He's not a scrambler, bro. He's not. We talked about this. It adds. I mean, besides, like, this is the first time they've had this since what, like, Aaron Brooks?
Yeah,
and Aaron Brooks was like a way better scrambler, obviously, than Jameis.
Oh yeah. Oh no, he was dangerous.
Yeah, but like it just adds a kind of a new dimension to the offense where teams have been game planning against the Saints for years. I'm guessing probably like the same way, right?
Yeah.
Like they knew, but like now this kind of adds something new to it. Like it's like, okay, well, if we're in man coverage, because a lot of that happened on man coverage, man coverage, third down, Jameis got a pocket. And if the receivers are like 10 yards down the field and the cornerbacks and the linebackers got their backs turned, bye, see ya.
Right.
And it converted so many crucial third downs against the Packers.
Crucial, bro.
That led to points. So
if it's 3rd and 4, it's like, why not? You know what I'm saying? Like, why not if the pass ain't there? Why not?
I won't say it changes everything, but it adds a lot to the offense. And you saw how the perfect example, bro, that touchdown to Chris Hogan and, Troy did a good job, explaining it. Like the defender, because Jameis had done those scrambles 3 times or whatever in the game in the red zone, like Jameis, he presses and he steps up, like he may go forward and scramble to try to get it. And that completely, boom, bro. Like that's what
it was amazing to see, because that's just an element that's never been there for the Saints since like Aaron Brooks, like since those days. So it was just like, oh shit, okay, like that's something you really can't even like game plan for. It's just like it's there, and it's just okay.
And that's a credit to him. He is coming. And Greg, Greg Rosenthal from Around the NFL podcast has brought this up numerous times. Like he just came in like the best shape of his life. Came in cut, trim, and you see it. Like I'm sorry, like Tampa Bay Jameis. I don't know. Tampa Bay Jameis making at least as far those runs went for first downs, bro. Like Tampa Bay Jameis was probably be gassed like Pete.
Gas, looking goofy, like just making goofy ass decisions. So yeah, that'll be I'm interested to see, man, just how this whole thing plays out. As far as like coaching staff, Joe Brady, another second year in the NFL. He's you itching for that head coaching position.
Bro.
I know he won't show his ass, bro. He won't show his ass. Him and Sean Payton got this kind of little thing going on behind the scenes. I don't know, man. I just feel like he got something cooked. I feel like he's cooking something. We'll see. Maybe it's just my mind, but I just feel like he wants to show something, like some kind of play that Sean Payton did. He wants to bring his version of it.
Yeah,
and just stick it to him.
I'm sure
that's what Sean Payton would do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Without question, he would do it.
Like I remember motherfucking Sean Payton throwing touchdowns to a fullback against Dallas in 2006 because Big Tula didn't want a fullback on the roster. You know what I'm saying? Like just that petty shit. You know what I'm saying?
He's the pet. He is by far the pettiest coach and maybe all the sports, bro. Like
he's petty.
I wish I could wax poetically about what the Saints should expect from defensive coordinator Phil Snow, but like
I don't know. I ain't got nothing.
I don't know what Phil gonna cook up, bro. Like I'm not about. I'm bro. I got home at like 7:10, 7:20. Like I'm not watching all 22. From Panthers Jets to inform the listeners of what. Nah, bro. That's not gonna do it. I will say this though. I'll be interested to see. Because you draft J.C. Horn, like to me, like that shows in theory like you want to play man coverage, right?
Yeah.
So I'd be interested to see when the Panthers on defense how they defend the Saints. Are they trying to play them man to man? Are they gonna try to play more zone? Because to me, I don't know. Like playing zone against the Sean Payton team just always just does not.
Yeah, man. I always wonder, like, why y'all doing that?
Like, please keep doing it, but also, like, why?
Like, why? Like, why y'all doing that? Sean Payton, eat that shit up, man.
Eat it up. And Marquez, like, we saw, like, last year against the Bears, like, Marquez Callaway, even as an undrafted free agent, found holes in the zones and all that. But I do think they will try to take some shots against this defense with Deontay Harris and with Kenny Stills. I do think Kenny will be elevated. I do think they'll take their shots. And if you're listening to this as a Saints fan, I'll say this. The keys of the game when the Saints are on offense, if you neutralize Brian Burns, neutralize Hassan Reddick, the Saints would be giving themselves a good shot to win the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
Anything else like around the league or anything? I'm for one glad that this game is at like a regular fucking time.
It's a noon game?
I believe so. I believe it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank God.
Yeah, man. It's a regular noon game. Then week 3 we played New England.
Yes.
Yeah, played New England and New England. Then we should be back home in the Superdome. So it's a rough month for the Saints, man. Like, haven't been home yet. Bullshit with the coaches. Oh, that's another thing. Like, how does this whole offensive coaches, if they miss the game, I know they could possibly come back. You need two consecutive days of a negative test.
Negative test, right?
To come back. But I was thinking about like one thing, like especially on game day, just a lot of communication with those assistant coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Like they spend a lot of time just like collecting information on like formations and just all kind of information during the early part of the game to relay to Sean Payton, to make decisions. So I'm interested, if that has some effect. I know people like to think, assistant coaches, what do? They do a lot.
A lot, bro.
They do all the shit like that just people don't think about. So I don't know. It's just another story into the game. It's like, how does that affect them? So I mean, we'll see.
Sean better call Travis up.
Yeah, get Trav in there, man. Trav, for real, man.
I'm just saying, like, get some help. But yeah, I mean, because it's such a kind of like a sneaky, underrated thing that I'm pretty sure like not a lot of team fans or people like that don't even think about. I'm looking at the games of this coming weekend, bro. Like this is the Saints and the Cardinals. The Saints and the Panthers is one of 3 games where teams are facing each other where they're both 1-0.
That's interesting.
It is. It's Saints, Panthers, Raiders, Steelers, and 49ers and Eagles.
Fucking Raiders, man. And who won the game tonight?
The football team.
Oh, they won? Okay.
Yeah, I heard it was one of the most, crazy endings. You know how football is, bro. Like
Giants 0-2?
0-2, bro.
Not over there, boy.
0-2, bro.
Judge, Danny Dimes.
Let me just looking at the games this weekend. See if there's anything. Oh yeah, so the Bucs play the Falcons. So they are playing an NFC South team. Whoops.
Oh shit. Well, they gonna smoke that defense, bro. Man, that defense is trash, man. Like, wow, man, I don't know, man. Like, I can't stand the Falcons, bro, but it's like, damn. They're really shit, bro. Shit. Kyle Pitts ain't do nothing week 1. It's like, I mean, I'm not saying that means absolutely nothing for his career, but it's just like,
bro, you drafted him 4th
overall. I said 6th on Twitter. I meant 4th. Like, bro. Like, I mean, look, even Chase, people talk shit about Chase all long season. He made his name known week 1.
Week 1, out the gate, bro. Out the gate.
Telling me, and Matt Ryan loves his tight ends. Telling me, like, couldn't get that man some catches? Like, damn.
Arthur Smith already just confused. Game of the week probably though. Sunday Night Football. Got the Chiefs. Got the Ravens. Ravens probably gonna go 0-2, bro.
Ravens not looking good to me, bro.
Nah, they
not
do
good, man.
They do not.
They just had too many hits to talent. You know, Lamar is playing well, but it's like it's looking like all on him. I was thinking about it. You know, they've had Lamar for a couple of years now on a rookie contract, but it's like the roster doesn't seem that much improved. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, you know, that you like when you get a rookie quarterback that was like, he was an MVP a couple years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yep.
And you can't really, like, you should be able to build like just a stupid good roster for those years, man, because you're not paying a quarterback. You know. And it doesn't seem like they got a beat up roster now. I know they had injuries and shit, but I don't know. I'm looking for they have some talent, but I'm like, man, this kind of like the Raiders matched their talent this week. You know what I'm saying? Like the talent. I didn't see the teams that
you didn't see like a drastic disparity in terms of talent.
Right. It just looked like two kind of eight win type teams battling each other. You know what I'm saying?
The Raiders are so like this is the same Raiders teams that beat us week 2 last year, bro. Like they are like a mad need. Like as a Raiders fan, and the fact that they haven't won a game, the fact that they have not had a winning season except 1 in 20 years, like that's
crazy.
Blew me away, bro.
That's crazy.
In 20 years, they've had 1 winning season.
And them fans up in there wilding like couldn't tell them shit.
Bro, 2001, Ryan.
Golly.
Like I was what, 13? Oh, bro. That's wild. I mean, it'll be, you know, they're going against the Steelers. Interesting game. Week 2. Vikings at Arizona. If Kyler?
Yeah, man.
If he continues to play this way and you know, Arizona wins and Minnesota looking at 0-2, speaking of hot places.
Oh, man. My man's on that hot seat.
Bro, Zimmer seems to me like he doesn't even want to be the coach of the Vikings anymore. And if he does, I don't think he wants Kirk Cousins to be his quarterback. Like, that's everything for like the last year and a half, 2 years. Like, he's old and crotchety, so he's just going to tell you how, like, he don't give 2 shits, bro.
You know.
Like, I think if Zimmer felt that he could play Kellen Mond, like, he'd be fine.
He'd be completely fine with that.
But yeah, man, there's some interesting games, but the Saints are playing, you know, at noon, 10 o'clock my time, best time, you know, for football games.
Knock that game out early. Rest of the day.
The rest of the day, we will be recapping the Saints-Panthers game probably like right during like Sunday Night Football, right when it starts, something around there. It will be posted Sunday night. And if you missed the last episode, if you are a Patreon, you get early access to the recap shows of all the games that we do. So you'll have it Sunday night. You can load it up, listen to it Sunday night before anyone. If you're not a Patreon, you just got to wait till Monday whenever Ryan posts it in the morning. Like, it is what it is. We have to show love to the people that support us. There have been so many people recently becoming Patreons and supporting us, and it legitimately leaves me, lost of words. I do want to give a shout out to Julio. I shout him out I put a shout out to Twitter. I told him, bro, like, I'm going to shout you out on the pod. What you did for the podcast, with the new season. Ryan and I can't thank you enough, man. Like, the generosity, like, we can't say enough. So much love for that. We appreciate it. We appreciate you, and thank you.
Yep. Much love, Julio. And all the patrons, man. Max, all y'all, man.
Everybody. The OGs and the new ones, everyone. We appreciate it. Y'all. We do. With that, we're gonna get out of here. Enjoy the game on Sunday. Don't just saying, it might not be a walk in the park, but enjoy it the best you can. We'll be back Sunday night. With that, we're out.
Peace.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Baker's, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Baker's worth it every time. Baker's, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.